Everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Galaxy News Podcast. But if it's your first time here, welcome. I have my co-host King, Fanman King. How the heck are you today? Are you doing good? Are you doing horrible? What's the mood?
Fair to middling.
Oh man! All right, I guess we'll take it. At least it's not horrible. Can I try and get you up a little bit?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, everyone. Today on the Galaxy News Podcast, it's funny. We were talking about it earlier. Real quick, King and I, we're thinking of a name for mine and his podcast, right? So I thought Galaxy News Podcast. He thought Bethesda Brothers Podcast, and I was like, I like Galaxy News Podcast better. But now over time, I fell in love with the name Bethesda Brothers Podcast, and he said that I could call this, obviously the Galaxy News Podcast, but we're the Bethesda Brothers. I just didn't know how to articulate that in the intro. So that's just what I want to say really quick to that. But let's get it.
We are the Bethesda Brothers, but this is the Galaxy News Podcast.
Very true. All right.
There you go.
So, King, today I want to talk about something that we have talked about a lot on my channel, on your channel, and that is a beautiful Fallout remaster remake. There's a lot of that going on, and there has been for the past couple of years with just a lot of franchises being remade and remastered. For some weird reason, Bethesda hasn't capitalized on this with Fallout, and you would think the demand is there. Even Elder Scrolls, the demand is definitely there. People would love to play a Morrowind, Oblivion, remade or remastered. There's modding communities out there who are doing it, and it's absolutely incredible. Just the response that they would get from remaking or remastering a game. Now, they've been purchased by Microsoft, so this becomes a pretty... there's a better chance now. So, yes. King, what do you think? Is Bethesda missing out on a chance by not remastering any of their BGS games?
Yes, but let's first look back and see why they haven't. Of course, we know that Todd Howard's famous statement that he would rather do new things than go back and do old things. You think about how long it takes to make a Bethesda game. We know it takes about 4 years, sometimes longer. Now with Starfield, it's taking longer. But it's about a 4-year cycle to make a Bethesda game. It's a very intense thing. And if you're going to remake a game, now this is a very key point that we're talking about. If you're talking about Fallout 3 or Oblivion, any of these, we're not talking about just a remaster. We're really talking about a remake. Now we could have Fallout 4 carried over into the Creation 2 engine. That would be a remaster. That wouldn't take that long. That would be the same thing as we had with Skyrim remastered, carried over into the new engine, not the new engine, but into a new generation. But Fallout 3, if you were going to do something with Fallout 3, you wouldn't want to just remaster it. That would be making the graphics better. You would want to have it where the gunplay was better. Anybody that hasn't played Fallout 3 before, you go back and play that, the gunplay is horrible.
It's atrocious
compared to Fallout 4, because they fixed the gunplay in Fallout 4. They actually got id Software to help them get the gunplay right. So, going back to Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, you would want that to be remade. They would actually have to remake the whole game. So we're talking about a 4-year process, really. Maybe not, because you've got the audio done.
Yeah.
You've got the, but you are talking about a long process. What, 2 years maybe? Maybe you cut it in half.
Yeah.
So, but that's the difference between a remake and a remaster.
Yeah.
So that's why they haven't tackled it before. But as you said, now being bought by Microsoft, there is a better chance than there ever has been before of us actually getting a remade game, a remade Fallout 3. And I actually honestly think there is a really good chance that that might happen. There is a rumored new Bethesda studio out there. But I mean, we already have a Dallas studio that's a support studio, but Microsoft itself has
A
studios
ton.
all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's a really good chance that in the maybe not the near future, but the close future, that we will get a remake of one of the classic Bethesda games.
Yeah, I think 2 years is a good educational guess for a remake to come out if they started working on it today. Now, think about this for a second. Fallout New Vegas took 18 months to make.
Yeah.
I know they were rushed, but it took them 18 months. They already had the engine there. They literally just used Fallout 3's engine. They improved on it a little bit, but it took them 18 months. So now you're talking about a game where the story and everything is finished. Now, I'm no programmer. I have no idea what the heck it entails. But everything is done. Everything is finished. And all you have to do is just put it in an engine now. And which might take 2 years. I don't know. It may take a year. It may take 2 days. I have no idea. I have no knowledge of this.
Well,
But
if you look at like the modding community, like Sky Oblivion, and no, I know these are
Well,
not professionals doing it, but how long have they been working on these things, and
well,
they're still not done?
well, yeah, those people do incredible work. These modders do incredible work, but the issue is it's not their full-time job. They have other jobs. They have other things that they want to work on. They do this for fun. So,
And I know that wasn't the same thing at all.
yeah. So like if Bethesda, if they actually hired them, like it would have been out already.
But
You know what I'm saying?
my point was, it's going to be a little bit more tedious because you're
Yeah,
going to
no,
be
I know that.
remaking a specific world. You don't get to just make something that you want to make. You're going to have to
Yeah.
remake a specific world. But the good thing is, like you said, the story's done, the voice acting's done, the music's done, all that.
Everything's finished.
Yep.
You know, everything's done. So I mean, it's hard to believe that they won't hop on this remake trend. Everyone's doing it. I mean, Tony Hawk did it. They came out with Tony Hawk's 1 and 2, and that won Sports Game of the Year. So imagine if Fallout New Vegas came out, remastered, remade.
man.
That could win RPG of the Year. It could.
I could see that.
You know, that could win RPG of the Year. Depending on what the heck it's going up against, it could win RPG of the Year.
I could see either Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas coming out around the time that the Fallout TV show comes out.
Yeah.
And, man, a lot of hype. And, of course, that would even help Fallout 76. I think that could even help them get new players into Fallout 76 as well, if that's what Bethesda's trying to do.
Yeah,
because it brings hype to the Fallout series.
Yeah, the only issue with remaking a Fallout game, especially New Vegas, is if that game's released and you're pushing 76 still, that's gonna take away from 76. King, you can't tell me you play 76 consistently. If they remade Fallout New Vegas, are you gonna sit here and tell me that you will not play through it? You will.
I will. If they released Fallout New Vegas remade today,
Yeah.
Are you asking me would I stop playing Fallout
Yeah.
76?
For the time being, yeah.
Yes, I would.
Yeah, I would in a heartbeat. I drop it in a
would.
heartbeat. So
Yes.
that would take away from 76 a little bit. Eventually, people will start coming back because it's an
But
ever-evolving game.
But they're going to continue to make new content for 76, so
Yeah,
I would keep
exactly.
going back to it. But yes, I would absolutely drop off from 76 and play Fallout New Vegas very excitingly,
Yeah, me too.
or Fallout 3 too. Man, I mean, gosh, that is so exciting to think about a totally remade Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, some people might say, well, they wouldn't make a Fallout New Vegas because that was done by Obsidian. But remember, Bethesda published Fallout New Vegas. And I really think that Bethesda needs to embrace Fallout New Vegas
Honestly,
as their own.
King, it's not even up to them. It's up to Microsoft. Am I? And they own Bethesda and Obsidian, so it doesn't matter. Like
That's right.
it truly like doesn't matter at all.
But don't you think even Bethesda themselves though, they need to embrace Fallout New Vegas
They
as
should,
their
yeah,
own,
they should.
and because they published it, it was their property, it was their engine, and of course, like you said, now Obsidian's within the family of Microsoft, so yeah, it's all in the family. Just embrace it.
It's so incredible how Obsidian tied in the original Fallout games to New Vegas, and like with the story and stuff. I mean, I know this might sound silly to some, but I still find it incredible. And Doc Henry is from Fallout 2. He's in New Vegas. Like I really like, what is it? The overlap or the crossover. I love how they did that.
Yes.
And I just like, I've been working on a video about Father Elijah that should come out Monday or Tuesday. So I've been hard at work on that. And it's just incredible looking back on
Shameless
the lore.
plug.
Yeah, yeah. It's incredible looking back
Well,
on the lore.
you had some of the original developers and
Yeah.
writers from Black Owl Studio and what was the other? I can see the logo.
Interplay.
Interplay, thank you. That worked on Fallout New Vegas as well.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of
They're all on
remakes,
Microsoft. Go on.
do you think? Let's just say you're on the board at Microsoft or Bethesda or whatever, and you're sitting there making a decision. Okay, we are going to do a remake, but what are we going to do? Are we going to do Fallout 3? Are we going to do Fallout New Vegas? Or do we just start with Fallout, the first Fallout, and put it in a 3D engine? Where do we start? We're going to start remaking the Fallouts. What do we do?
I think what they would do, because
I have an opinion, but I'm
let me
gonna
give you
ask
mine
you
really
first.
quick. Yeah.
Okay.
I think what they would do, being that they are, a business, it is a business, they would try and put something out that would give them a great shot to work, right? They either do one of two things. They either do that, which would be 3 or New Vegas, and then they put out Fallout 1 or 2, or they do the opposite. Instead of giving us New Vegas and 3, they see how Fallout 1 and 2 does. And then if they do well, then they'll make 3. Then they'll make New Vegas. They could go both ways. But I think with my first point, I think they would go with New Vegas or 3 first, and to create that, and then say, hey, Fallout 1's coming out or Fallout 2 in the same exact engine. That would be absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I think they would go that route personally, but
I
you
do too.
give me your opinion. I want to know what you think.
I was
Elaborate on
thinking the same thing. I would think they would start with Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas, something that most of the people are familiar with, and then they would go back to 1 and 2 after we have those. Or this is an interesting point. It's according to, and we might not even be thinking about this, where the television show is going to be based. What if the television show is based in Washington, D.C.? What if the television show is based in New Vegas?
it.
What
Yeah.
if the television show is based on the West Coast? It's, if if it is in Washington D.C., then a Fallout 3 remake would be perfect
Yeah.
to do first.
Quick question. This just came to mind. You bring up the TV show. Microsoft, once again, being a business, they see how great The Witcher 3 did, right? What if Microsoft says, you know what? Their 76 brand new game for the Fallout franchise. I mean, it's been out for a couple of years now, but that's the latest installment. We haven't had Elder Scrolls in quite a while. There is ESO, but that's a little different. We haven't had Elder Scrolls in quite a while. What would you do if they scrapped the Fallout TV show completely to work on an Elder Scrolls TV show?
You know, there is a rumor about an Elder Scrolls and a Dishonored TV show coming to Netflix.
Okay. Would that so well then with that being the case, the Fallout TV show is going to be on Amazon.
Yeah.
So then it wouldn't get scrapped.
No.
You wouldn't think.
No.
But I don't know. That's just
In fact,
thought.
I think there was 3 rumored TV shows on Netflix. Was it a Deathloop, Dishonored, and
I heard Dishonored
Elder
and Elder
Scrolls?
Scrolls. I don't know. I don't know about the other one.
Okay, maybe it was just those 2. But
Did you ever see the Doom movie?
I did. Yes.
Was that any good?
It was okay for the time. It was okay.
Yeah.
I think it was The Rock.
The Rock was in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
it
Rock.
was The Rock.
My guy, The Rock. Yeah.
Early on.
Yeah.
Early on.
Dwayne Johnson. Yep. The People's
Dwayne,
Champion.
The Rock.
Yeah. Yeah. King.
I can't
Look,
get that.
King,
I don't have.
Look, King.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
You got to look off into it. The sultry glare.
Yeah. He's my favorite performer of all time, Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, he's an
For
awesome
sure.
actor.
He's
Awesome actor.
Well, yeah. I mean, I first met him in the world of wrestling.
Yeah.
So he'll always be my guy in regards to that.
And speaking of that, I cannot wait to see what they do. And I know this is not what the podcast is about. I cannot wait to see what they do with the Fallout TV show. I'm so excited about that. I hope they don't mess it up. I want it to be really good. I really do.
I highly doubt they mess it up because I feel like they're putting the right people in charge of it. You know, the creators of Westworld, right? Or the creators or the producers of Westworld. Who's ever involved in Westworld is now working on the Fallout TV show.
Casting and location is going to be a huge thing, though.
I wonder who they cast. Imagine Matthew Perry. They cast him. He loves the universe. What's he doing now? I mean, I watched the Friends reunion and he didn't look too great. So I don't know.
Well,
I don't know if he'd be good. I don't know.
He might be a good writer or something now. Who knows?
yeah, right. Poor Matthew Perry.
And hey, we get old. It's all right.
It happens. But King, you look good though.
Oh, thank you.
But you look good. You don't look your age, King.
I don't know how to take that.
I know, right? It's like a backhanded compliment.
Yeah,
you know, King. I think
you look good for your size, Joe.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, King. Thanks a lot. I gotta go on a diet myself. But King, we might be out of time. I really don't know how long this lasted.
You carry your weight well.
I have. Oh my gosh! For the
you
people,
look good for a bald man.
All right, you better knock it off. For the people who listened this far into it, this was a little treat for you. But King, any final words?
The thought of what they can do with the Fallout franchise going forward is very exciting. And someone asked me the other day what I thought Microsoft was going to do with the Fallout franchise. And I really don't think they're going to wait on Fallout 5. I think they're going to do something before, which means a remake. So I'm
Yeah,
excited to see what they're going to do.
I agree, and they're silly if they don't because they're sitting on a lot of money. Same
Yes.
with, you could say the same thing about Elder Scrolls. They're sitting on a lot of money.
Okay, my last question, and
Yeah.
I love the Elder Scrolls. I love the Elder Scrolls,
course.
but which would you rather
Fallout.
have? And which do you think the fans would rather have?
Elder
An
Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls remake or a Fallout remake?
Elder Scrolls.
Really?
I feel like Morrowind is such an older game that not a lot of people have played, and I feel Skyrim is so beloved that they would and they're just craving that new Elder Scrolls experience, and Morrowind would be that for a lot of people. I feel they would love to
That would be an
play
awesome remake.
that. But selfishly, me, Fallout 100%. But then again, everybody loves Fallout, and there hasn't been a new single player Fallout game in like 7 years now. So,
Yeah.
I mean, who knows at this point? I don't know. Think about this. Fallout 4 is as old as Fallout 3 was when Fallout 4 came out. Did I make sense there?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. So, Fallout 3 was 7 years old at the release of Fallout 4.
I would love to see if they released a remade Morrowind and a remade Fallout 3, which one would sell more. I would think the Fallout would,
You think so?
unless there's some Fallout fatigue. But
There could be.
I still think with the excitement of the TV show coming and all that, and I still think Fallout 76 keeps. There's a big community around Fallout 76.
Do you think Fallout's a stronger franchise, before we go, than Elder Scrolls?
No. No. ESO has a huge community. Skyrim was so huge.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I think they're again. I would like to see which
Yeah.
one would outperform.
Think about this really quick, right? I believe I was watching a little bit of your King's Cast, right? Your latest one, and
Bless your heart. Thank
you mentioned that Fallout 3 they sold $300 million worth, I believe, in like a week or something, right? Fallout 4, what?
I would have to check my notes, but go ahead.
Fallout 4 was $750 million in a day.
In a day, yeah.
So I mean, the want for a new Fallout game could be there. I don't know. I think it's a crapshoot, honestly. It's both franchises are beloved, and it could go either way.
Well, again, if I was sitting on the Microsoft board, I would think Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas would be.
You're making me sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. I think it's a no-brainer. It's a.
Yeah. Well, King, we're all done. We're out of time.
Okay.
So
I want to keep talking.
we could if you want.
No, it's all right.
Yeah. All right, guys. We thank you for watching. If you've listened this far into the podcast, thank you so much.
Of course they have.
We will be here every Friday. That's my goal.
Next week.
We'll be here next week. Thank you guys for watching. This is Joe and King Fan Man signing out.